Game on the line. Williams lofting one for a deuce. He caught
it! You're listening to the world's #1 football podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Ben Hansen, Matt Hartman, and Ryan Matthews.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pigskin Project. It's been so long. We missed everybody. We apologize for the 1 week break that we had to take. In Northwest Indiana, there was what they're calling a derecho, I believe is how you pronounce it. And it hit me pretty hard, and I lost power for a lot of it. Matt, I think, was also affected by it, and Ben was left to his lonesome. It's kind of hard for one guy to make three guys worth of predictions on the schedule. So we decided to postpone this episode. We will be done with our predictions following next week's episode. But we are very, very excited to be back and talking about the NFC East. Everything is all good with us now, I believe, except I should probably check in with my boys first. Matt, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm excited to talk about the NFC East today. That's it. That's all I got.
Ben? Talking about your team today.
No, yes, yeah. I'm obviously pumped to talk about the Eagles, but off topic here for a second. I sent you a picture, and I'm currently searching it up to make sure that I have the name correctly. Dude, I tried the best flavor of Gatorade in my entire life the other day, and it was phenomenal. It's a coconut pineapple Gatorade. It's called Tidal Crash. It's the best flavor of Gatorade I've ever had in my entire life. 10 out of 10 recommend. It beats anything. It's number one. It's better than lemon lime. So
it's bold.
Go. Wow. Not sponsored, but
it's too woke for me, buddy.
Try it.
No, that's awesome. I do remember that picture that you sent. You were like, dude, this is the greatest
thing. I sent it the day after you guys lost power, and I'm like, yo, this is great. You have to try it. And you're like, yo, you have to try getting this power thing.
Yeah, it was crazy. So just to talk about that for a minute, and so I lost.
Yeah. See, look at that. Your dad agrees.
Yep. Yeah. My dad popping in saying I finally agree with Ben on something. Title. Yeah.
Title.
Yeah. No. This storm it took out our power from Tuesday all the way to Saturday morning. And I did not have phone service either. So it was kind of rough. If it weren't for my parents, I think I would have gone stir crazy. They got power back, I want to say some point later on in the week, let's say Thursday, I believe. And with that being said, I mean, I finally had a spot to charge everything, so that was kind of nice, but it was definitely not a place I would have wanted to record the podcast on Thursday, just because everybody was over there, because they were the epicenter of everybody. What?
We should have gotten their commander's takes.
Yeah, we should have. You also got up to something fun. I hope you talk about it. You got up to something fun this weekend.
Yeah. Well, first off, I want to mention because I haven't talked about this publicly. The Sunday before the storm happened, my dad and I took my little brother to Bears training camp. I was very excited to talk about it on the podcast and everything. Unfortunately, we were not able to take him because it got rained out. We got to training camp, and before we could get taken to Hallis Hall via bus, it got canceled. So, yeah, I'll get to my dad's comment here in a second. But anyways, so, with that being said, I posted something on Twitter. My little brother was kind of bummed out, so I wanted anybody to see this that could possibly help. And Bears Twitter was probably the coolest that it's ever been. It absolutely hooked my little brother up. So he will be taken care of, and I'll be kind of sharing a little bit more later on. But it involves the Chicago Bears themselves getting a hold of me, and I think that's such an honor to be able to be recognized by an awesome team, and they reached out and wanted to help out, so that's pretty cool. And when the time comes in which what is expected is delivered, then I'll share some more. But my dad coming on here saying that our house at my dad's would have been a great spot for a fantasy draft if you bums weren't dodging the goat. He's referring to the fact that I had talked to Ben briefly about adding him to the Belt League, and Ben was like, absolutely.
I offered him a slot. I offered him a slot in my other league. In the other league. Anyways.
And that league did not come to fruition. It was going to be a father-son league, and it didn't come to fruition.
I figured out another people bum.
Yeah. We did not do that. We backed out of that. But Ben did not want to be in a money league either. So
I don't have $125 to throw away.
Yeah. Especially now, right? I'm just kidding. Anyways, that's behind the curtain here. But no. So, anyways, yeah, let's dive into the NFC East for a little bit before Dad gets too ahead of himself, because we do have an agenda this week, believe it or not. But that's our recap as far as why we missed last week. So I apologize there. But gentlemen, I'll let the Eagles fan decide where we go first, right? Because do we start
I don't know.
with a rival, or?
We either start with the Eagles or end with the Eagles. So I don't know.
Dad's
you guys decide.
The podcast.
You guys decide.
Dad wants the belt, guys. I don't think you should let him have the belt. Personally, I don't think. Not before I can have it. I'll say that. I need my turn at the belt. Anyways,
you guys decide. Eagles first or last? I don't care.
Then they're last, buddy.
Yeah, they're last. They got to be.
Okay.
My vote's the
Last.
Cowboys. I think that's a fun team to start with, right?
Yeah.
The Cowgirls, right? Yeah.
We're getting to it. We're loading. We're loading everything in.
We're loading documents.
So just give us a second. Yes,
Yeah,
we're loading documents. So just bear with me. Anyways, Ryan, what did you do this weekend? You skipped over that.
Oh wait, yes, I went to the Chicago Bears preseason game. That was cool. Last second, got some tickets. Yeah, that was a thing that I did. Sat in a suite. That was fun. The United Club, definitely recommend sitting there. So, yeah. All right, we have the Cowboy stuff up. Let's do the Cowboys. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys. Last year, 7-9-1. Of course, the greatest tie on planet Earth happened. Their offense was awesome. Their defense was literally the worst. The worst in the NFL. Kind of sucks for Eberflus. If I give him one mulligan, he probably went into the season expecting to have Micah Parsons and then didn't. So that probably hijacked a little bit of their
doesn't
defense,
deserve a mulligan.
But
come on.
I'm kind of talking about like the difference between like 32nd and like 26th. And that might be the difference between this team making the playoffs or not. They were that bad last year. So they brought in Christian Parker from the Philadelphia Eagles. He's been their secondaries coach, Ben, correct?
Yes.
And they, of course, made some massive trades during the season to get Quinnen Williams after trading away Micah Parsons. Quinnen Williams then gets a major extension just a few weeks ago. George Pickens got tagged. They brought back Terrence Steele, Javonte Williams, Brandon Aubrey, Malik Hooker still doing it, TJ Bass, and then Sam Williams. They traded 4D winners and Rashawn Gary, some established starters along that front seven. They brought in Jalen Thompson, Kobe Durant, PJ Locke, Ogbania, and Sam Howell as a backup quarterback, along with Jonathan Bullard. Their big departures, if you call them departures, Osa Odigizua to San Francisco, in which they got the pick back for Jayshon Barham, and Solomon Thomas to the Titans, lost Donovan Wilson, Kenneth Murray, who's not signed, Logan Wilson, who's not signed, and then Jadeveon Clowney, who just signed with Houston. And their draft, I think this is the part of their defense that they're really looking to close the gap with Caleb Downs, likely playing the nickel. Malachi Lawrence, just another guy into the edge room. Jayshon Barham is going to play off-ball linebacker, kind of scouted him as an edge for me. So interested to see how that works out. And then Drew Shelton and Devin Moore were some of the picks they got back in the trade up, or the trade back with the Eagles for Mekhi Lemon. So both of those fourths come from the Eagles. And then their big questions. Defense, and more defense. You think about, I think it's like 7 of the 11 starters this year are projected to be new players on this roster. So again, just you could go through each part of this defense and ask the question on how good are these players going to be, because the offense is already there. The offense has already figured it out. Rashawn Gary is someone that I think they expect to be better than he was with the Packers. Jalen Thompson is someone that they expect to be, anchoring the secondary. And then, of course, Caleb Downs being a ready-made rookie product out of Ohio State. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. And then, obviously, the scheme change of getting a guy like Christian Parker, who has never done this before. So, again, we're all doing the projection game with Christian Parker. The number 2 one, Pickens is going to play on the tag, and he signed it. He's playing on it. Don't know how much I love that, and I don't know what this means for this team, just from the sense of if he has another explosion year, they're going to have to pay him what JSN just got, and JSN just got $40 million. So I'm kind of like, are they going to just play this out and then tag him next year and trade him? I don't know. But if he has any season resembling what he was last year, he's a top 5 receiver, in my opinion. That's how good he was last year. So I'm interested to see how that kind of transpires going forward. And then the starting left tackle, when I made this graphic, it was up for grabs. But since it has been Tyler Guyton. So that is going to be, and it seems like he won the job pretty outright, away from, I believe it was Nate Thomas was getting majority of the 2's snaps, but I think their offensive line for the most part is solidified. But what do you guys have on the Cowboys, likely the defense?
Yeah, I'll start. I want to just say this team, to me, and I mean, this might be the most like common take ever, considering like how the Cowboys fans are every single year. But like this team feels like a bit of a sleeping giant because I don't feel like there's anybody really talking about them. There's not a lot of noise surrounding them. And I was a very big fan of Malachi Lawrence coming out of college and into the draft, if you remember. Obviously Caleb Downs, falling to them. You've got your concerns about his injury history, but I don't think that's going to necessarily be a problem at the pro level, or hopefully it won't. But Malachi Lawrence, I believe, is a good addition to this defense alongside Quinnen Williams. And then just overall their additions too, like Kobe Durant for 1 year on $4 million. I know that that's not as significant as others might think, but I'm a huge fan of that signing for cheap. And it seems like that was the common theme in this offseason as well, is that there were some corners that can make some noise for a team like this that didn't necessarily get a massive bag. But I think that this is a hungry team in the light of there are a few guys, like you had mentioned, George Pickens, that are on 1-year deals that want to go out there and make some noise and get a big payday. So you've got a bunch of guys that are motivated to not only just win, but prove that they are big money guys. And I think that they can be. And so with that point, I'm surprised that Pickens, the type of receiver that he is, would play on a tag, but with the price tag as well, $27.3 million for 1 year, like, okay, I'll show you guys that I'm worth more than that, but that's still pretty good. But I think it's a huge addition as far as this overall offseason's concerned. And I don't think that the defensive statistics are going to reflect even remotely close to what they were last year, based on what this team looks like. I'm a huge fan.
I hope not.
And, then you've got the other side of the ball, just strictly talking about, your offensive side where Dak Prescott can make a lot of noise and is darn near a MVP candidate for the majority of the season. This guy's a perennial passer for over 4,000 yards, and he's got the weapons to do it as well. I'm very excited to watch the Cowboys play football this year. I'm just going to be honest, because they're going to be on primetime a lot. Normally they are. It's just the normal Cowboys, but at the same time, they're going to be a little bit better, in my opinion. And that should make people excited too, because when the Cowboys are good, football's good. But Ben, what do you got?
I don't know about that. I was up until that final point you just made. But no, again, just as Matt had said, everything comes down to what we're getting for this defense. Like I don't have any concern at all about what is happening on the other side of the football. Everything is humming for them. It's great. Like, not worried about it at all. It all comes down to what we are getting out of our defense, and I think a lot of it comes from like what is on that front. I am very much of the mindset like it is we're figure out this defensive line
Ben.
and back and this is how we build the defense. So
Ben, hold on one second. I'm gonna turn off can you turn off your camera to see if your connection will improve here? Because it's kind of glitching just a little bit, and I almost wonder if that would help your connection here. In other words,
I doubt it will
make
help the connection, but
it's I mean, whatever works, because it's kind of hard to make out what you're saying here. We'll see. Sorry,
I'll keep
everybody,
it
for
short.
the.
I really
Yeah.
what they. I really like what they did along the defensive line. If all of that clicks the way it should, the rest of the defense should be a lot better. You build the defense from the line back. They did that well. Again, it makes the linebacker job easier, which then makes the secondary lives a lot easier. So I like what they did on the.
Oh, I promise I didn't do anything. That's ironic. I don't know if he left or what that happened. Or I don't know. He's
They're tired of his
from what
Dallas Cowboys takes.
Yeah, what I took from that is that he's a big fan of what they're building up front on the defensive line, or I guess just in the trenches in general. And I think that he's improving or expecting improvements on those lines. But overall, based on those additions, if they are what we think that they are, then they should be fine. Did you take anything else from what he was saying? Unfortunately, guys, there's a little bit of technical difficulties there, so we apologize for those listening, either audio or YouTube. But did you get anything else out of that, or maybe some extra points?
I think his point is similar to everyone's, where it won't be as bad as last year, right? There's just no way with the additions that they've brought in, and they're similar into that tier of Cincinnati. Like, they're in the Cincinnati tier where it's like, we're gonna churn out top 6 offenses when the quarterback's healthy and the receivers are so good that if we can just get this defense to 17th, 18th, 19th, like, we're going to be a team to reckon with and win 11 games, because just the offense is, the offensive production output is just going to be so massive. And so I think that's kind of where we're steering the point, where I think we all like the defense solely on the fact of it's just not going to be as bad as last year. and
Yeah.
it felt like they were walking into, this snake pit. When you trade Micah, at the time that you trade Micah, you have no opportunity to refill what Parsons does. And it feels like the last 365 days, getting a Quinnen Williams, getting a Rashawn Gary, bringing in two safeties in Downs and Thompson, you are filling out the roster in a way that you can, kind of shoulder that loss where it just felt like they couldn't a year ago.
Is this team, to you, do you think that they look like the type of team that can actually make a run here? Like, looking at the structure, the offensive numbers, and the defensive improvements, I think that this is a team personally that could potentially make a jab at, the Rams in the playoffs if they were to meet up in like the divisional round. Like, you catch this team playing another one on a bad day, like this could be an NFC championship or Super Bowl reaching team, in my opinion. But are you seeing the same thing?
Not really. I think for the most part, it's still just, it's so up in the air. Like, I need to see 8 weeks of it before I'm committing to like that tier. Because I still think they are like 2 tiers down from that like Rams, Seahawks, NFC tier. And even like, maybe spoiler, but like the Eagles in this division, right? Like I still just need to see it in that sense where I know the offense is good, but how good is the defense is kind of the other point of it, where those two teams at the top are still churning out, 2 of the 3 best defenses at least, and having like one of the best offensive, like the MVP and the offensive player of the year are on those teams as well. So it's not like their offenses are just going to be stagnant against like a Dallas defense.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things too that I think could be improved, and Ben's back in the studio here. We'll see if anything improves here. But one of the things that I've got questions about is still the run game, because Javonte Williams had a really good season and signed for it as well, 3 for 24. I'm excited to see if that production can kind of keep up, because after him, it's kind of a dull spot on the offense, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know exactly where we'll go with that, but
well, that's the thing too, is he wasn't this like beacon of help before he got there.
Easy in that. All right, buddy.
Okay. I don't know. Oh, and he's gone again. Dang it. Okay. We'll figure this out, guys. We'll figure this out. Well, do you want to move forward, I guess, and we'll just talk about the lines and everything?
Yeah. Let me pull it up here.
I'm almost interested to see where they fall in the NFC, because I think of the Cowboys as a team that'll compete with Philly for the division title again. Like, this won't be a, Philly's just going to run away with it kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that. Absolutely.
Ooh.
So their odds kind of reflect what you're saying and what we've been saying, where there's going to be an uptick. They won 7 games last year. The over-under sitting at a juice to the under at 9.5. They're second in the division, kind of pretty easily. They're 8th in the conference, and then 16th, 25-1 to win the Super Bowl. So,
okay, 9.5. Looking at the schedule, I'm not gonna expose it, but what I will say is, very happy with the schedule graphic. Is this on the Cowboys website, or was this from a fan? Or not?
Yeah, it was like a space theme kind of thing.
This is really good. Yeah,
cool.
I like how they separated the preseason from the regular season. Like, they kept that like little, and then everything else is there, and then just space as the bye week. That's really nice. Yeah, but second place in the division in odds to win it, as I believe they should be, plus 215. That's tempting. That's very tempting. But 8th in the conference, okay, and then 16th in the Super Bowl. That's about where I had expected them when I was saying that. I would assume that there's juice to Philly when it comes to the division odds. 9.5 is interesting though. I feel like this team, without looking and analyzing the schedule just yet, you would look at this roster and go, "This is a better than 9-win team." So I'm excited to dive into the game by game predictions here. But yeah, Ben, let's try this again. How are we feeling about the Cowboys and looking at the schedule and the odds?
We're gonna see. We're this could be minimal talking from me. It seems like for this episode.
It sounds great so far. Knock on wood.
No, this is right around where I thought they'd be.
Okay, perfect. Should I start?
No, we need some.
Sure.
Donovan
Do you want to go
Azaraku.
up into the Bucks?
We need Donovan Azaraku propaganda. All right, the breakout player.
Breakout player.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah. It was absolutely. I love the fact that you look at that because it was absolutely overshown.
He couldn't say Maurice Lewifow this year, guys.
I know. No, but it was Ezraku and Overshown. Those were the two guys. If Overshown can stay healthy, we'll see. If he can stay healthy, I think Overshown's going to be great. Again, we will see. So it's of course it's going to be Ezraku. So, but Ryan, do you want to take us to the Buccaneers and we'll just do 5-4-4-4?
Yeah. So, starting off, I've got them beating the Giants, beating the Commanders. I have them beating the Ravens, losing to the Texans, beating the Bucks to start 4-1.
I have them starting out 3-0, losing to Houston, and then beating Tampa Bay. So 4-1 as well.
There you go. I have them beating both the Giants and Commanders, losing to both the Ravens and Texans, and then beating the Bucks. So I have them starting out 3-2.
I will have them lose to Green Bay just because that's what they normally do somehow. And then I will have them beat I'll have them lose to Philly in Philly. Beat the Cardinals and then beat the Colts. So 2-2 in that stretch, bringing us to 6-3.
I have them tying with Green Bay again, losing to the Eagles, beating the Cardinals, beating the Colts, and then beating the Niners. Are we going to the Niners?
Yeah, going straight to the Colts. Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you have them at after that? I'm sorry.
I think that would be.
You had them 4-1.
2-1.
You had them tying? I'm sorry. Did I hear that right?
Yeah, they tie with Green Bay again.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Ben.
Yeah. I have them beating the Packers, losing to the Eagles, beating the Cardinals, losing to the Colts. I have them going 5-4.
All right. The next 4 games, I have them beating the Niners in potential game of the year. Beating the Titans, beating the Eagles in round 2, and then losing to the Seahawks 3-1 in that stretch, bringing them to 9-4.
I have them beating the Niners, beating the Titans, beating the Eagles, losing to the Seahawks.
3-1 so far for Matt.
Yep.
I the exact same as you guys, winning these 3, then losing to the Seahawks. So I have them at a cool
8-5. All right. And then for the final 4, I have them losing to the Rams, beating the Jaguars, beating the Giants, and then I'll say losing to Washington because they were sitting their starters. They go 11-6 on the season.
Yeah, I just have them losing the rest. I have them losing to the Rams, losing to the Jags, Giants, and Commanders. 9-7
7
and 1.
and 1. This is the
There you
first
go.
tie in
I have
our
them
record
losing to the
prediction
Rams.
so far.
Just as last year.
Yeah.
The only tie of last year.
Yeah. I have them losing to the Rams, beating both the Jags and Giants, losing to the Commanders, finishing the season at 10-7, right in the middle of you guys here.
All right. So, ceiling and floor. I think this team could win like 13 games as their ceiling. And then as their floor, I have them going like 8 and 9. Just to kind of put it lightly, this team will be in the playoffs this year. And they're going to make some noise. Lots of prime time I'm seeing. So very exciting time to be a Cowboys fan. I'm excited for the season for the Cowboys.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
kind of right there with you.
Yep.
Like that's kind of right where I have their ceiling floor. 13 wins.
Really?
13
13?
as their ceiling. Yeah.
Yeah, looking
You're
at
not
the
buying
division
them?
and everything.
Yeah, simply.
Yeah. 9-7 and 1, not buying 13.
No, I just
That's crazy.
I'm underestimating the defensive.
I like what they did.
Guys are
I like what they
projecting.
did on the front four.
Yeah, that could be great, but it's like, do they have an actual edge rusher who can get home and get 10 sacks this season if Rashawn Gary isn't that guy? Like, I don't know, man.
Donovan Ezra.
He sets a mean edge. I'll give him that. But that's my biggest fear with this team.
Von Miller had 9 sacks last year.
The fakest 9 sacks you will ever see in your life. But
I knew you'd get a kick out of that. No, but I mean, this is like if everything goes right. I mean, like it's the ceiling for a reason, right? Like if everything clicks and everything, like Caleb Downs is like defensive rookie of the year again. Rashawn Gary is like back to like the really good Rashawn Gary. The defensive line, especially the interior, holds up the way you want it to. I think 13 wins. I can't believe that I have to fight for the Cowboys, but I think 13 wins is reachable in a perfect world. But also, again, I think like 7 or 8 wins is also your floor. So there's some variance in there for sure.
Yeah. Like, dude, if Dak gets hurt again this year, it's like it's bad.
Yeah, like 7 is certainly the floor. I'm probably like 10 or 11 being the ceiling, just from the sense of like there's a lot like I think Quinnen is a really really good player. There's just so much mystery box to this defense that even if I can squint and like the pieces together, it's very like the corners are very very fragile. The edge rushers, like if none of these edge rushers come together and it's like, oh, that guy's a dude, like that's a fragile group to me. The linebackers are just like gonna be mid, and I think they're just shooting for mid linebackers after the Kenneth Murray and Logan Wilson season. But man, that is 13. You guys are high on them. It's fun for the show.
Yeah,
it makes me gross that I have to like argue for the Cowboys being successful.
Yeah, let's go ahead and recap. Matt has them at 9-7 and 1. Ben has them at 10 and 7, and I have them at 11 and 6. One thing I want to check really quick as we kind of transition. What do you guys think, if you were to put a number on it or set a line, what do you think Dak Prescott's live odds for MVP voting would be?
15-1.
Yeah, probably around 15-1.
Awfully close. It's 14-1. That's pretty good. Good job, guys. 15-1 is Caleb Williams. Wow. Had to check for my boy.
Yeah, I mean that's probably right, just from the sense of like if he leads the number 1 offense, he did it a few years ago, right? And he finished second, so I think that's probably the right spot to be.
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to our next team here. Whatever you guys think. It can't be the Eagles.
The Giants.
Giants. Yay, the Giants. I agree.
The New York Football Giants. You're playing for the New York Giants. The New York Giants. If anybody gets that reference,
The New York Football Giants.
that'd be great. No, but they finished 4-13 last year. Cleaned house along the coaching staff. Pretty good offensive metrics. The defense once again, just underperformed in a pretty massive way. Jackson Dart, his biggest enemy, the blue injury tent. Got to stay out of that one. Got to stay away from that one. But their big coaching hire, getting John Harbaugh from Baltimore, sweeping him up, I think it was within 6 days of him finalizing the firing from Baltimore. He signed with the Giants. They brought in Matt Nagy, Greg Roman, Brian Callahan, the unholy trinity of offensive coaches of the last half decade, and then Denard Wilson over from Tennessee to call the defense. He worked with him in in Baltimore, and then we get into their free agents. Kept Jermaine Illuminor, who was a positive story last year. Micah McFadden is kind of a depth rotation linebacker, but for the most part brought in a ton of just new guys, new faces. Isaiah Likely, not so new, comes over from Baltimore. Tremaine Edmonds, Greg Newsome, DJ Reader, Jordan Stout, the punter, Pat Ricard, the fullback from Baltimore, Darius Washington, he's from Baltimore, Shelby Harris, and then just 5 veteran receiver signings, including Darnell Mooney, Juju Smith, who's already been cut, Odell is probably the headline one, Calvin Austin, just a ton of guys that just throwing darts at a dartboard and see if 2 of them stick. Like, I bet Odell sticks and whoever the best of the rest is. But their biggest trade of the offseason, they traded away Dexter Lawrence for the 10th overall pick that became Francis Mauigoa. Their big free agency departures, Wan'Dale Robinson, Cordell Flott, Daniel Bellinger, all going to Tennessee, ironically enough. And then Dane Belton, Austin Schlottman, Greg Van Roten, and Bobby Okereke. Their draft, they picked 5 and 10. They picked Arvell Reese out of Ohio State, Mauigoa, as mentioned, Colton Hood in the second round after it seemed they got sniped on Cade McDonald. And then they traded up for Malachi Fields, and then they had 3 day 3 selections. The remaining questions. I think this is all about Harbaugh kind of setting the tone, making this his in a way. There's already been some firings within the front office that guys who have been around the Mara family since the 1990s, and it seems he's making decisions to where if you aren't positively affecting football on the field, you're going to get out of here. It seems like he's running the show in terms of draft picks and signing players with all the Baltimore guys coming in. So interested to see what that looks like long term. And then the other question, the overall offensive output, the Dart development plan. Like I said, Matt Nagy, Greg Roman, and Brian Callahan, I just don't have much hope in the short term, like as a passer strictly, to where I think their best offense is going to be similar to what Dable did down the stretch last season, where it's just like battering ram. Like, the run game's going to be pretty good. Like, Malachi Fields is a good blocking receiver. Scadaboo's going to be healthy again. Like, I could see that. And Greg Roman he can design a mean run game, but like, I have no faith in this passing game being, top half, top 20 even. Like, I know Neighbors is seemingly like he's going to be healthy, but I just wonder what that does for a guy like Dart in his development, where I was very anti-playing year one, and I thought he did pretty solid. Like, he stayed above water, but there were games where he's getting hurt, and he's just not showing any progressions. Like, the Vikings game. Go watch the Vikings game, and then watch the preseason Vikings game again. And Like it's rough. So interested to see how he develops, what he looks like from year 1 to year 2, because that's my biggest fear. If this guy doesn't look any different, what is this? What are we doing? You know?
Well, I'll take it a step further. I mean, my biggest concern is that you're going to just continue to use him as a rag doll, right? And he's just going to be this crazy crash test dummy, and he's going to get hurt. And like the fact that he like got out of last year like relatively healthy is just like unbeknownst to me how that happened. And if you continue to use him this way, is not going to end well for him in terms of like the longevity of his career. And then again, you use him this way, and now he's not forced to learn how to like actually pass, and it's just going to stunt his development. I'm right there with you. It is a huge concern for me. And again, the guys that they brought in to help this young quarterback develop are just not the guys that have ever been able to do that. It's a lot of head scratching moves in terms of what the direction of this team is, because you want it to be up, but some of their moves just don't feel like that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, one thing that I want to note, when it comes to this offense, maybe a little bit of hope with them. I think Dart kind of held his own. He played a lot of good teams last year, and he could have been better for sure, but he was also missing out on Malik Neighbors, who, if you remember, in the first 2 weeks, he was very productive. 5 catches for 71 yards against Washington on week 1. And then against Dallas, 9 catches for 167 yards week 2. He faces Kansas City in week 3, and then all of a sudden week 4 against the Chargers, he, obliterates his knee. So if this guy comes back, that's a very reliable, target for Dart, and I think it'd be a very positive, addition to the development plan that these guys have for Dart. Then you also mentioned, the veteran wide receiver signings. I don't think, there's not going to be a single one of these guys that necessarily blow your mind, right? But they're good to have in the room for development because they're experienced guys that, have proven that they can be good route runners. I'm not going to sit here and say that Darnell Mooney is like, oh my God, he's going to be the Giants' saving grace, right? But at the same time, I don't think that he's an incapable receiver for this offense. And he already has experience with Matt Nagy on the offensive play calling side. Not to mention Darius Slayton was still a very proven, decent guy for Dart last year. I'm not entirely sold on the receiving core, but I will say, Neighbors adds a factor to this that, Dart didn't have. And with that being said, you can do nothing but think optimistic thoughts when you look at Jackson Dart. And with that being said, I'm excited for that. Then you talk about the defense. Arvell Reese, we're all excited about, so I don't necessarily have to hit on that too much. But Tremaine Edmonds is a good veteran presence to stack on there at 3 years for $36 million. That's a heck of a price. Rumor has that they were trying to trade for the guy before the Bears just let him go. You look at this team, man, and I can't help but think like they're definitely building this, like you had said, in Harbaugh's, light, right? Like, obviously, this isn't going to be a team that makes a playoff by any means, but when you think about development, I think they have some of the pieces to be able to be decent, keep them in games that they don't belong in, like, I don't know. It all just hinges on, really, and you guys already mentioned it. Dart, the fact that, what Ben had said, the fact that this guy was able to come out and still finish the season is just, that's an act of God right there. This guy was in the blue tent how many times? It's incredible. But, even Isaiah Likely is still a good signing. They added good pieces. Now, the one thing that I would just say, just to wrap this up, I really didn't like the fact that they traded Dexter Lawrence, given I understand the situation and everything, but that just doesn't help anything. And this defense, I mean, already wasn't great. And, I'm not entirely sold that they really patched that up. So, and then Scattaboo, by the way, yeah, he's healthy now, but like for how long? You know what I mean? Like that's not to me, it's like this guy's not going to be healthy. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but I have Tyrone Tracy on my bench on like both of our leagues. Like that's a guy that I would.
Harris. So I think that's an indicative of everybody in the room.
Yeah, I mean, genuinely speaking, it's the health aspect of it. It's I mean, I don't know.
Ryan, let me ask you a question. What is your confidence in Jackson Dart simply tied to Malik Neighbors? Because I mean, you yourself experienced Matt Nagy being like the offensive guy in the room and the impact that he had developing a young quarterback.
He did excellent,
and obviously
for young quarterback development there.
Yeah, exactly, right. So like I just wonder where is it just Malik Neighbors or what is it?
Okay, I'll start with the bad. I'm surprised Matt Nagy still has an offensive play calling job. When you look into any coaching staff, you're not expecting him to be there.
The offensive mind in the room. It's not even play calling job. Like John Harbaugh doesn't do offense. Like Matt Nagy's the offensive guy. Like overlooking everything.
On the flip side of this, has Matt Nagy ever had as talented of a receiver as Malik Neighbors? Ever?
No, but that's also because Neighbors is probably S tier talent.
I'm just saying, right. So my thing is like, I'm not gonna close the door on him yet, but like I'm really close to it because it's Matt Nagy. I wouldn't necessarily want him to be mentoring my young quarterback, given his track record, but at the same time, like they did their research. They took a long time with this process, if you remember. And if this is the guy that Harbaugh,
because Todd Monken said no. That's why.
Monken took a head coaching gig. That's what he wanted all along.
That's why the process was long. They just had to wait for him to say no.
Monken was either going to remain the head coach or remain a coach in Baltimore, or he was going elsewhere to be a head coach. That was a given. But my thing is like, if Harbaugh, if this is the B team for Harbaugh, that still is a pretty decent title to have. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't care how crappy you are. If Harbaugh is the guy that's like, hey, come coach my offense. Okay. But yeah, I'm not crazy big on Matt Nagy, but I don't know how good can we run screenplays? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's a concern. That's a concern that stunts the development of a quarterback. Like, is that going to be our offense? He's just going to be a crash dummy and run screenplays.
It's not fun to think of it like that, Ben.
They're one of the few teams that I come away with, like, I have no idea who their 4 best pass catchers are. Like, I don't know what their ideal formation is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think Neighbors is obviously on the field. Likely is obviously on the field because he's your best tight end. After that, you get into, like I said, like, Slayton, Calvin Austin.
Yeah.
Malachi Fields is a 3rd-round rookie, so it's like, am I really going to expect him to be on the field day one?
Let's sign Odell for the vibes.
Like, yeah, the Odell thing is, again, this is a 33-year-old who tore his ACL like 3 years ago in that Super Bowl. So it's like,
yeah,
that's my thing is they threw a bunch of like darts all around and didn't. I don't think they invested enough in pass catcher to me to where like we want to figure out how good Dart is. Like, I just, yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, that's a perfect segue. I have 2 breakout players. One is a given, so we will get to whoever, like, the given is if you guys don't say it. The other one for me is just likely, right? Like, this is, he's going to step in. He's going to be the tight end 1. He's going to be funneled with targets. The best weapon and safety blanket for a young quarterback is a tight end. I think the breakout player for me is Isaiah Likely. And then if we don't get to the given, I will talk about the given player as well.
Dart?
Clearly.
No.
Big dart guy.
No, for me, I mean, I don't know. Like, Arvell Reese, like, I don't, there's either you're established as, like, a fine player, or you're kind of buried on the depth chart. Like, what you're saying is, like, Abdul Carter's going to be good. He's already good. Like, he's not a breakout player. He's already good. So
that's what I'm saying. You look at his stats. He had 4 sacks last year. That's why I'm saying he's the given. That's like he's the softball. That's why I didn't say him. That's the given player that I was talking about.
Yeah. Maybe Colton Hood gets on the field quickly. Who knows?
I don't know. I'm leaving this segment up to you guys at this point.
No Scattaboo?
No.
All right, let's get into the schedule then.
Najee Harris.
Devin Singletary. Jameis Winston.
They're over under right at 7.5. No juice to either side. They're 4th in the division, 12th in the conference, 23rd in Super Bowl at 70-1. Who wants to start?
70-1. Holy cow.
That's right.
They start 0-2. They lose to the Cowboys, lose to the Rams. I'll have them beat the Titans, beat the Cardinals, lose to the Commanders, and I think I had the Saints beating them. So yeah, they'll go 2-4 to start.
I have them.
I'll make it easy. I have the same exact record prediction. Like it's lost to the Cowboys, Rams, beating the Titans, Cardinals, lost to the Commanders, Saints. Sorry to cut you off, Matt, but that was 2-4.
It's too easy. I have them losing to the Cowboys, losing to the Rams, beating the Titans, Cardinals, losing to the Commanders, beating the Saints, 3-3.
Okay. I have them losing to the Texans, losing to the Eagles, beating the Commanders, losing to the Jags, beating the Colts, to go, I believe that's 4-9 total right now.
You go, Ben.
Nice. Yeah. I have them losing to the Texans and Eagles, beating the Commanders and Jags, losing to the Colts. I have them right there at the 4-9.
I have them losing to Houston, losing to Philly, beating Commanders, losing to Jacksonville, losing to the Colts. So I think that's the same.
Yeah. And then I have them beating the Browns in the last of the slate. So to the audio listeners, it's going to be losing to the Niners, losing to the Seahawks, beating the Browns, losing to the Lions, losing to the Cowboys, losing to the Eagles. So that adds 5 to their losing total. So 4-13 on the season. I'm sorry, 5-12 on the season.
Yeah, I have them beating the Niners. I don't know why. That game just felt like a win to me because Jackson Dart is just going to be due for a couple games. So I have them beating the Niners,
Substation.
losing to the Browns. Substation. Losing to the Seahawks, beating the Browns, and then losing out the final 3 to the Lions, Cowboys, and Eagles, putting them at 6-11. And I think I'm like comfortably taking the under on their odds here at 7.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have them beating the Niners, losing to the Seahawks, losing to the Browns, losing to the Lions, beating the Cowboys, losing to the Eagles. I'm with you, man. I don't see 8 wins. And even then, it's like is that even the best case scenario ceiling? Just
Yeah.
from what we just talked about with the offense. Like I hate to harp on it so damn much, but like I get the offensive line is probably going to be pretty decent, but I don't know how this team is going to be explosive outside of a guy coming off like a catastrophic knee injury at receiver. Like there's just I don't see it.
My thing is Dart cannot stay healthy. There's no way. I mean, given last year, and I mean, I know that they talked about it briefly this offseason about like how he can't stay out of the tent. He's like, dude, I don't want to be in there. Like, I'm not trying to be. But like, I don't know what it is about him, but he's gonna wind up there. Scadaboo's gonna wind up there, and I hate to predict it off of injuries, but it's like it's just a type of player. I don't know if he's just like the pocket awareness. I don't know if it's because like I believe he's a shorter quarterback, so it's like, you know. With that being said, it's like I I don't know. I mean, I think if you're gonna talk ceiling, 8 to 9 wins. Maybe like if everything, like literally everything has to be going right. And I mean, it's a rough schedule. I mean, nobody's really talking about that aspect of it too. When you look at the Giants, I mean, for those of you in the card collecting business, I mean, I don't know how Dart's value is so high, but like, don't buy this product because it's gonna go down. But yeah, it's rough, man. I don't like it. I don't like it. Floor, I mean, I'm seeing like 3 wins. 3. And no, I mean,
I think their floor is like
lower.
2 wins.
Yeah.
I think their floor is like 2 wins. The Cardinals and Browns. Like,
You think so?
that's your floor. Yeah.
I think they could beat the Cardinals for sure. I think
They probably have
beat
too much talent for 2.
I was going to say I think they beat either the Browns or Titans, but like for some reason the Browns game kind of sticks out, and like maybe the Browns figure it out against this one. I don't know. It's late in the season. The Browns kind of do that weird thing where like they win a couple late in the season, like maybe. But I mean, still, for a floor, I mean, like this is the bare minimum. I still think 3 wins probably. Like they're beating the Commanders once. They're gonna beat 2 of the Browns, Titans, Cardinals, Saints. Maybe the Colts. You know, like I don't know. It all just, I mean, not high on them. I mean, yeah. Take the under is the main point here. To recap, I have them at 5-12. Ben and Matt have them at 6-11. Sorry, Giants fans.
Yeah. It's just going to be another year of like, again, we just want to see Dart development, and I don't think that they have the pieces in place to get a proper development this year. Well, and that's the thing too, is compare it to the way the Titans and Saints approached their offseason this year.
Yep.
Right? Like the Titans are going out of their way to say, hey, we're going to overdraft Carnell Tate. The Saints are going to overdraft Jordan Tyson, and even if that burns, like and both teams are going to sign massive free agents along the offensive line, and like we're gonna overhaul like I get Dable swapping out for Nagy. Like, is that a upgrade in the aggregate? Like, I don't know. They both got fired, but in the end, I feel more confident in those teams, at least giving it the working man's try, where this is a lot of Dart save us. This is going to be another one of those like 35 times running the ball, and they're going to be down 2 possessions in the third quarter. How are we going to get a proper Dart evaluation? I don't know.
Yeah.
Rambling.
Yeah, let's move on to the Commanders.
The Washington Commanders. Last year, 5-12 after soaring heights of an NFC title berth. Their offense, kind of middle of the pack. Their defense, similar to Dallas. These 2 teams ran away with being the worst two defenses last season. Jaden Daniels, the thing is even in the games that he didn't play many games, he got hurt a lot too. But in those games, he was pretty poor. And so much so that I'm like, he might have regressed. He might have gotten a little bit worse. I thought one of his superpowers last year or 2 years ago at this point, was his accuracy, just being able to move off platforms, being able to stand tall and accurately deliver the football, like kind of in a place where guys get catch and run opportunities. And last year he just never did it, and that kind of sucks because I mean he was pretty special in his rookie season. But they made massive coaching changes, swapping out the offensive and defensive coordinators / play callers. David Blau was the assistant quarterbacks coach last season. Now he is calling an NFL offense. So don't lose sight of your dreams, kids. At any point, you could be calling NFL plays. And then Durante Jones comes over from Minnesota. Again, I think this is Dan Quinn trying to adapt with the times, trying to tap any of that Flores magic. They re-signed Laramie Tunsil. Well, all right, we'll move on. Mariota, they brought back Allegretti at center, which again is a mismarket management of the center market, cutting Biotish to keep Allegretti, but whatever. They kept Andrew Wiley and Chris Paul and re-signed Jeremy Reeves, a special teams Pro Bowler. They made some big free agency splashes. Odafe Owe was the big one. Kaylavon Chason, Stephon Diggs, Chigga Okonkwo, Leo Chenal, Tim Settle, Lameek Robertson, just a ton of starters that can play football, were similar to the Cowboys. It's just a lot of guys who couldn't play football last year along the defensive side of the ball. Their big free agency losses, again, you can see them like Debo, Chris Rodriguez, Bobby Wagner played 99% of the snaps for this team. Like, those are good losses. Those are fine losses. I think you can stomach in an aggregate. And it gets to their draft. This team, I think, with the way they drafted, I think they were really circling Carnell Tate at pick 7. He was off the board, so they pivoted to Sonny Styles, off-ball linebacker out of Ohio State. They drafted Antonio Williams in the 3rd round, Joshua Josephs, Katron Allen, Matt Golban, and Ethan Kaliakmanis, Greek freak from Rutgers. And then the remaining questions, I think it's just the biggest takeaway is there's just so much new. I don't know how to project this team. This was the one team that I came in with a number I wanted to hit on our schedule prediction, and I hit the number. Other than that, I don't know what to project with this team, just from the sense of the offense is going from Cliff Kingsbury, spread you out, tempo, under the gun, static X receiver, Terry McLaurin, the X receiver, 90% of snaps. This is going to look like, in the sense of, I think they're going to try and tap into what Detroit has been the last few years, since he comes from, like, when he was on that, practice squad or whatever. I don't know. There's just so much new on the offensive side of the ball. And then you get the defensive side of the ball. Ton of linebackers who fit that Flores kind of body type, where Styles, Luvu, Leo Chenal all could theoretically rush the passer, drop into coverage, mug up the line, the line of scrimmage. So interested to see how that works, because we've only seen Flores do what he does at the highest level. So if they're going to try and be that kind of defense, I don't know. There's just so much to project. The second one, there's a lot of RG3 and Jaden Daniels with this most previous season, and I think that is some scar tissue to just mention, just from the sense of this team was flying high with RG3, and then an injury kind of derailed it. Does that happen for Daniels? I really, really hope not, because he was a very special rookie and very exciting player for the NFL, and just very quickly it feels like he is an afterthought in this league. He got lapped by two of his draft mates in May and Williams, like very, very fast. So interested to see how his bounce back is. And then Tunsil is down for the year. What is our pivot along the offensive line? It seems like they're just going to slide in Brandon Coleman, who played left tackle for them 2 years ago out of TCU. I wanted to see if they would have flipped Connerly, similar to what the Chargers did with Alt last year. before that went south when Rashawn Slater went down, but it seems like they're just going to keep that right side of the line, Cosme and Connor Lee, intact. Nick Allegretti still hasn't practiced at center with actual reps, so like I don't know what goes on there, but there's just so much question marks going along this team, so we'll see.
Ben?
Yeah, the Commanders, as you said, are just a hard team, right? Like, it's I want to like them because I know what the upside of this team is when Jaden Daniels is like who he is, right? Again, we had seen it in his rookie year, but there are just so many question marks on the rest of this roster, and on offensive play calling and all of that. So it's going to be fun to get into the floor and ceiling debate of this team, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely agree. I mean, looking at their additions, and the most recent one being Stephon Diggs, that I'm a huge fan of. And I mean, some people are thinking like, oh, Stephon Diggs, he's cooked, blah, blah. I'm sorry, but like stacking him alongside Terry McLaurin is exactly what this offense needed, and it's better than Deebo Samuel. So like, like it or not, I think that this is a guy that's gonna be positive for Jaden Daniels. The one thing that I'm pretty worried about is the offensive line and how they're going to protect their guy. Their defense is something that I feel fairly confident in, given the addition of Sonny Styles is the headliner there. But Odafe Owe also in free agency, they paid him to be the guy, right? So I mean, Leo Chenal still again another very positive and experienced linebacker at the highest level, coming from Kansas City. I mean, you got some experience on the defense, and I feel like this is a hodgepodge of that on the defensive side. And I mean, when you think about Quinn, this is probably what he wanted, right? So I mean, I'm excited to see how the new OC does. That's interesting. We made that point already, but yeah, I mean, Daniels is. I mean, we talked about it with the Giants as well with Dart. I mean, his health really kind of hinders this team and really steers the ship here. They were middle of the pack despite the fact he didn't play too much when you consider offensive EPA, and I think that their defense can at least be middle of the pack at this point. So I don't see why not. But yeah, exactly. And I don't know. It's kind of a wishy-washy kind of feel. I'll wrap it up by just saying this. I understand that sometimes we look at like, hey, we predicted so-and-so to go blah, 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 this year. We were wrong. This will be a team that we're probably wrong about, and I'm okay with that. But it's just, I don't really know. I don't know.
Yeah. There's just so much new. There's no way to predict anything. Brand new offensive play caller, brand new defensive play caller, and a coach who has failed in the past, like been fired for underachieving. So it's just, I don't know what to do. I don't know.
Yep.
Who do you have for breakout?
Matt, I'm willing to bet that our breakout player is the exact same guy.
Who is it for you?
I was between two people. My head was originally
you said it was the same
one. Wait. My head was originally with Chris Paul, but the more I think about it, in terms of the changes that you're doing on offense or the changes you're getting in on defense, I think it's going to be very beneficiary for Trey Amos. He was a lot of fun to watch last year before he got hurt. So I think it's going to be fun, and again, I think it's the changes on defense, especially what you're doing in terms of getting more pass rushing along this defensive line. It makes your life as a cornerback a lot easier. And again, Trey Amos was fun at moments throughout the course of the season. And now when you add defensive line in there, I think it makes it easier for him.
Yeah, I would have said Johnny Newton before. It seems like he's going to be down for a little bit here. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I just saw he did get injured. I don't know the extent of it. Might be long term. I don't know. But for me, I think it's Krosky Merritt if the kind of scheme change comes together in the way that we think it does with heavier personnel packages, under center runs. I think he's someone that you see the pop, you see the juice in the open field like that Chargers game last year, and I think just over the course of the season, I think he got beat up, and he's a smaller back, so again, probably having some of that, wear and tear. So guy like, Rashad White coming in, hey, come in and pass protect and catch passes, so our actual, between the tackles running back can run the ball, 12, 15 times a game. So I think Krosky Merritt is the guy that I gravitate towards a little breakout from what I saw last year.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and transition to the odds and schedule.
The schedule for the Commanders, they're hovering right at that 7.5 mark, similar to the Giants. They're third in the division, but they have much better odds in the
conferences, I believe was what he was saying.
Yes, yeah, I thought that was me for a second, if I'm being 100% honest.
Their quarterback has done it.
Yeah.
Oh, he's back.
All right. He's back. Hi, Matt. Yeah, decent odds here. But 7.5 still. I mean, interesting. I don't know. Should I start us off here with the first row on the left?
Yep.
All right. I will have them lose to the Eagles, lose the first three. I'll have them beat the Colts, beat the Giants, I think I said. No, lose to the Giants. And then, oh my gosh, they're starting 0-6. Holy cow. Okay. Sorry, guys. Whoops.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's bad.
I have them losing to the Eagles, losing to the Cowboys, beating the Seahawks, losing to the Colts, beating the Giants, beating the Niners.
I'm going to adjust one thing here. I'm going to say they beat the Colts here. So they're 1-5. They're 1-5. Rest assured, they're 1-5. Matt, what did you have there? I'm sorry, I was analyzing my own.
I had them 3-3 going to the bye.
Okay. Ben?
Yes, yeah. I have them losing the first three to the Eagles, Cowboys, and Seahawks, winning the next two to the Colts and Giants, and losing it to the Niners, starting out 2-4.
I'll have them lose to the Eagles, lose to the Rams, beat the Giants, beat the Bengals, beat the Cardinals. 3-2 in this stretch, making it 4-7 so far.
I have them coming out of the bye, beating Philadelphia, losing to the Rams, losing to the Giants, losing to the Bengals, and beating the Cardinals. So, was that 5-6?
Yeah. Okay.
There you
Ben?
go. I have them beating the Eagles, losing the next three to the Rams, Giants, and Bengals, and beating the Cardinals, putting them at 4-7.
Okay. And then to wrap up mine, I have them beating the Titans, losing to the Texans, beating the Falcons, beating the Vikings, beating the Jaguars, beating the Cowboys. So 9-8 on the season. Heck of a comeback. We lost Matt again.
Oh, all right. I have them beating the Titans, losing to the Texans, beating both the Falcons and Vikings, losing to the Jags, and beating the Cowboys, finishing the season at 8-9. And this is just like that weird middle ground. Like this kind of goes back to what I was saying. Like 8 and 9 is like this middle ground, and I could see them going 8 and 9. I could also see them winning like 10 or 11 games if Jaden Daniels is great. I could also see them winning like 6 games if Jaden Daniels is awful and gets hurt. This team is such a high variance team, so it is very difficult. But 8 and 9 is where I have them, but it's not. I don't feel comfortable in that due to the variance.
I'm with you. Yeah. Matt, to wrap up yours, you there?
Yeah, I'm losing to Tennessee, beating Houston, beating Atlanta, losing to Minnesota and Jacksonville, and beating Dallas 8-9.
8-9 is okay.
This is the exact spot they should be. Like I think this number is perfect. They're going to win 8 or 9
Yes.
or 8 or 7 games. Like
So looking at this team, I was originally thinking 8-9. So I mean, we're right there, but I'm giving them 9-8 just to give them the benefit of the doubt. I hope that Jaden Daniels makes it all the way. I mean, I hate to be that guy that like kind of, oh, this guy's gonna get hurt. Boo, you know what I mean? Like, boo that man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's so much fun to watch, and for a team that had RG3, for example, and then drafts a similar archetype of quarterback, please don't just repeat history. You know what I mean? So yeah, for a guy like him, I just hope it works out. But there's a few games in this one I feel like when to transition to ceiling and floor. There's this few games that I feel like are very winnable. I would say like both Giants games, the Colts game, the Bengals, the Cardinals. You've got Titans, Falcons, Vikings, Jags. I would throw all of those in there. I would say their absolute floor is like maybe 4 wins, and then throw their ceiling at like 11. Like everything's just, I mean, this is just a well-oiled machine. Like everything's working. 11 wins, and they're right there in the heat of it for the division. And it's just I can't see that happening. So 9-8 is a very, here you go, trying to be nice to you kind of thing, but you'll be on the outside looking in for another year, which is weird because this team was in the NFC Championship like 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy. But ceiling and floor for you guys?
Ben, what do you have?
Yeah. I mean, I already said my ceiling and floor, right? Like, I think they could win 11 games if Jaden Daniels is what he was the back half of his rookie year. This team could also win like 6 games.
Yeah.
If the offense doesn't figure it out, you get hiccups with the new play caller. Again, this is one of the teams that I wouldn't be shocked, as Ryan had said in the last segment. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if like they blow up, but I'm not going to bet it.
Yeah.
In a good way. Blow up in a good way.
Yep. Matt?
Yeah, I just see it as like 6-9. I think this is just the NFL's mid team. Like I think they have a fun quarterback, but everything else is just in a slightly below average kind of tier. I don't have much hope for the ceiling you guys were talking about with 11, but again, that's more based on like what we've seen. Like and Daniels has done it at that level before, but I think this is going to be a process with this new offense. I just wonder what the win mark has to be for Quinn to get like another crack at this thing with this staff. Like is it 8-9 what we're talking about, like where we're all kind of in that ballpark, or is it just like don't flame out in a massive way, don't win 5 games? I don't know. I don't know with this team.
Quinn's on the hot seat, right?
Yeah.
So
I think his
what do
seat
you
is
have?
warm. I think his seat is warm. I'm not quite there.
OC
saying,
and
like, hot
DC,
seat, but
I think it's hot seat.
What do you
I
have
also
to
don't
do
think
to
the cliff
keep your
thing should have
job?
happened, though. But that's me.
What do you have to do to keep your job here?
That's what I'm saying.
How
I
many
don't know.
games? Because if he goes 8-9 with this, do you just decide you're not the guy?
Probably.
And
It's the easiest path, right?
yeah,
Hey, man, you had us in the NFC title game 2 years ago, and now we're winning 8 games?
yeah.
Like,
What
I
happened?
think it's the easiest thing, but even then, like, this is kind of an 8-win football team.
Yeah, and I'm not even confident in saying
Yeah.
that either. The line is at 7.5. They could very well be under that. It's gross. All right. Just to recap, Ben and Matt have them at 8-9. I have them at 9-8. So that's your Cardinals 2026 schedule prediction.
I guess we're higher on them than we talked about them. That makes sense.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
like, we all have them going over the win total, but yeah,
yeah. But like we all hate it though. like it's
yeah. I don't. They're just an
Anyways.
impossible team to project.
Yeah.
All right, let us get into the
Go
final
Birds.
team of the division, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Dude, really,
Last year,
really quickly. Joint practices between Patriots and Eagles the last 2 days. AJ Brown has just been putting like belt to ass. It's been awful. Anyways.
yeah.
the top 7 receivers been really good.
Who would have thunk?
No, but last year they won the division again. What was that? The first time someone's won the division back to back since 02, Ben? Is that true?
Yeah,
Whatever
literally
that
first time in
streak was
25 years.
flooding. But their reward was losing to San Francisco and the skeletons that they got to trot out there in that game. Their offense took a pretty big dip from last year, 18th and 23rd in those major offensive metrics. Their defense was really, really awesome, especially down the stretch when they got Jalen Phillips. Jalen Hurts kind of ranked in the middle of the pack of both of his metrics. But their big addition came from the coaching staff, swapping out Kevin Patullo for Sean Mannion from Green Bay. They also lose Jeff Stoutland, and so that's why I included Chris Cooper from Minnesota and Ryan Mahaffey from Green Bay, because it seems like those are going to be the two orchestrators of trying to, cobble together the run game left behind by Stoutland University. And then they get into what they do best, extend their young, cheap talent early. Jalen Carter, 4 for 152. Jordan Davis, 3 for 78. They brought back Dallas Goedert and Jake Elliott and Braden Mann, and then Fred Johnson, kind of their swing offensive lineman, and then Marcus Epps seems like he's going to be that second safety, if I'm reading that correctly.
Yes.
They, of course, traded for Dontavian Wicks and Jonathan Grenard at the draft. Also have Andy Dalton on this roster. Interesting. Are they going to carry 4 quarterbacks? I'm like looking at that. It's kind of silly.
No.
How many
It'll
quarterbacks
be
they
Cole
have.
Payton.
Okay.
It'll be Cole Payton and one of Andy Dalton or Tanner McKee, and it better fucking be Tanner McKee. Pardon my language.
Yeah, it'll be McKee. Like, McKee's the easy one, but that's where
Him and Andy Dalton have been
That's what I'm
duking
thinking.
out QB2 snaps.
Gross. I'm sorry.
And then you get into their big free agency signing. I think they got a value. Tariq Woolen, 1 year for $12 million is a pretty good
Yes.
deal. Hollywood
Yes.
Brown, Arnold Ebiketie, Jonathan Jones, and Johnny Munt to be the blocking tight end. But their major offseason storyline got traded. A.J. Brown to New England. They get a 2028 first-round pick. And they also traded Sidney Brown, their big free agency. They let walk was Jalen Phillips, just couldn't extend him at the number that he got. Reed Blankenship goes to Houston. Dotson is swapped out. N'Kobe Dean likely to be swapped out with Jahad Campbell, Brett Toth, and Adoree Jackson. Their draft, they traded up for Mekhi Lemon, drafted Eli Stowers, drafted Markel Bell, and then you mentioned Cole Payton, and with 4 more day 3 selections. Before we get into my questions, Ben, what are your questions? I want to hear what you want to talk about on the Eagles before we get into anything I have to say.
The two biggest things for me is the offensive line, right? Like throughout literally my lifetime, the Eagles have had just a fantastic offensive line. That was not the case last year. A lot of it due to injury more than anything else.
Yeah.
But it was not a good offensive line. And the way to not remedy the situation is by having arguably the best offensive line coach in the entire league leave the building. So the offensive line is a little scary. I'll be interested to see how that plays out. But really the other big question for me is like, who steps into that wide receiver 2 role, right? Everyone is looking around like what's happening with AJ Brown, who's stepping into that role. My bigger question is who's stepping into the Devontae Smith role, right? Because Devontae Smith will just step right into the AJ Brown role. Who's going to take that wide receiver 2? When Devontae Smith is having a bad game, it's not like you can just turn to someone else at this point. Obviously, you hope it's Lemon. We'll get into another guy, but it's just who takes that slot, and it's just going to be the offense as a whole. And it looks to be your first question that you asked as well, right? But just what does it look like this year?
Yeah, let me ask a question real quick to
Yep.
the Eagles fan that follows this religiously. So regarding Mekhi Lemon and his whole situation, can you talk about that for those that maybe aren't as informed on the situation? Cough, cough, me, cough, cough. What's going on with this guy? Is he playing this weekend? Because it's possible, I think. But what's going on?
No. He's not going to play. I would be shocked if he plays. I would be very, very shocked if he plays. The Lemon hasn't been practicing because of this lingering hamstring issue.
Back now.
Well, he ran routes in pads, but he didn't participate even in like team drills or one-on-one drills or anything. But he has this lingering hamstring injury that like dates back to his time, this past year at college. More than anything, I just think it's a matter of like the Eagles just having an abundance of caution, right? We're now seeing a team that did not have the abundance of caution with their first round wide receiver that had a hamstring issue and is now missing 2 months. So I think more than anything, it's just them just being as cautious as possible, knowing that like this soft tissue thing can really be a big issue. And they're saying, we're just not going to mess with that. And we're just going to let you kind of just hang out in the tub all day and stand on the sidelines until you are absolutely 100%. Again, as Matt said, this is his first like time he's been seen in pads pretty much throughout the entire offseason. I mean, like dating back to like rookie mini camp. So it'll be interesting, but he'll be ready to go. I think if they played a real game, I think he would even play. But they're just trying to be as cautious as possible.
Where's your concern, like level of concern of for him, I guess, on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being, oh my God, I'm freaking out. 10 being Jordan Tyson.
I'm not super worried. Like at first I was like really worried about it, but like the more I've seen stuff come out, like I would say like maybe a 3, like at most a 4. But like I'm not super worried about it. Again, the main concern for me is like the fact that like this has lingered since like college now. But again, I just think they're being cautious more than anything. So it's like low, not completely dissolved, but it's a low level of concern for me.
The funniest part about this is that if Mekhi Lemon was drafted by the Rams like we all thought he should have been, this wouldn't have been as big of a story. Like, would have been like, he's just sitting because he's got a minor thing, it'll be fine. But like for the Eagles, it's like, they traded AJ Brown. What are we doing? So yeah, I wanted to kind of put that out there before we make anything. But yeah, you're the Eagles fan. Take it from here. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Those are my questions. I will let Matt get into his questions. I kind of talked a little bit about the offense a little bit. Saquon, I think, is going to be the biggest beneficiary of the new offensive scheme. I think the outside zone for him is just going to be stupid, and we've seen it in the head-to-head practices or the joint practices. But I will let Matt get into his other two questions here.
Yeah, I mean, you touched on it with like the innovation, but just so much so of like quarterback doesn't throw over the middle of the field, right? Like that is the talking point. That is the overarching point. This is a system that predicates on it, that is designed around it, that is circling it. And the thing about the Lemon thing that I'm concerned about is not really much the injury, but like these are reps I want to see him get, right? Like, and so like that's the opposite of like the Tyson thing, where it's like Tyson is out there with Shuck each and every day, where Lemon, you take it slow, and so you run into this same wall of like, is Lemon going to be ready with the first team offense week 1, just because he hasn't played as much or like practiced as much and gotten a run of the offense as much? But the other flip side of the coin is tweaking it again and having a 2-month injury. So like there is this like give and take that is weird.
To that point, I think Eagles more than like maybe other franchises, right? I think like the fans of this team, like we are at least pretty comfortable with these rookies missing a large portion of training camp, because we saw it with Cooper DeJean, right? Like Cooper DeJean like literally did not participate in training camp his rookie year, and then came in and was just like amazing pretty much from the moment he stepped foot on the football field week 4 and on. So I think like that helps, at least like in our mind. Does that translate? Obviously not 1 for 1, especially considering this is a whole new scheme. But I think that like helps at least mediate some of like the concern that like another franchise would have.
Yeah, I get you. Just talking it out. The other big questions, I think this ceiling has, this defense has a ceiling of being the best in football. Just when you go through each level and the way like teams are dominating the sport with interior pressure and stopping the run, like they signed 2 defensive tackles this offseason to monster deals, and both of those guys deserved it. Like you think about like Jalen Carter last year was just not right. He wasn't the same player that I think we saw during that Super Bowl run specifically. And so the Eagles believed that, right? Like giving him the extension that they gave him, top of the market D tackle, right? Even more than like Simmons and even Quinnen Williams in the same division. So I believe that that's a player with defensive player of the year upside, right? And when you have one of those guys to build around along the front, everything else gets even better. And they have awesome players behind him as well. Like Zach Bond is an all-pro. Quinyon Mitchell is an all-pro level player if he hasn't already made one. Cooper DeJean is an all-pro player. Like, and then you're stepping in like guys like Grenard. I know that's been funky with his availability, but even like
I don't think he's
you can slot in. Season. You can still slot in Nolan Smith and Jalen Hunt along the edge, right? Tariq Woolen is their biggest. He's probably their biggest ad, just from the sense of like Adoree Jackson isn't playing outside corner for them, like boundary corner this year for them. So again, like I just go through it. Yeah, I just think the talent is off the charts with this team, and you kind of filled in the little gaps and holes that I think they were looking to do in terms of, below average starters with truly talented players. And then the last thing, the lasting effects of the A.J. Brown trade. I'm not talking about just at this training camp, but just in the sense of it seemed like it was a very Hurts versus A.J. Brown saga, right? And we've seen Jalen Hurts be the most motivated man in all of football. Like, is there a level of motivation to where he really takes this personal and proves everybody wrong, proves me wrong? He could throw over the middle of the field, and he does it at a high clip. I don't know, but I think he'd be naive to not believe that it is real. So we'll see how that kind of comes together over the course of the season, because I do think it is something that to just circle, especially in a sports city that really hyperfixates on these storylines.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I'm just waited until like week 3 or 4 when he's just like pops off and just drops like one of his Jalen Hurts lines, or it's like, they wrote me but I didn't write back or something like that. Like, I'm just waiting
That's
for
a
it.
Geno line, buddy.
I know it is, but
yeah, I mean, when you talk about the talent, I mean, this is the only point that I really have after what you guys were saying. You were talking about the talent, how awesome this team is. I mean, from a roster standpoint, you look at Saquon Barkley, this offensive line, and this defense, and that alone will get you like 9 wins. Like, it's pretty outstanding. So, I mean, spoiler alert, I guess I'm very high on the Eagles, but we can go ahead and dive into the schedule and odds after the breakout
wow,
player.
that might be the first time I've ever heard you say high and Eagles on in the same sentence in a positive way.
Next week's my team's time to shine. All I ask is that you're nice to them too. It's all good. We'll see. Breakout players, boys.
Matt,
I have
go
Jalen
for
Hunt.
it.
Yeah. I think Jalen Hunt is a good edge rusher already.
Yeah.
Like, I watched him earlier this week because I just wanted to see if is it just a tagline? Is he just another guy? Like, I think there is a Pro Bowl in there. I think there is, the bend and the dip around the corner, what he has, and then the motor in the run game. I think this is an every down pass rusher who can, play the run, and he's athletic on those stunts when they ask him to do it. I know they don't stunt as high as frequently as many of the other teams, just due to the sheer talent they have on the line of scrimmage. They can line up one-on-one, but he's just a very versatile and athletic player, man. And he's someone that has come a long way. Like, from Cornell to Houston Christian to being a Pro Bowl level player in the NFL to me.
Yeah. Hunt is it's going to be so much fun too. I mean, this was like the same thing. Like 2 years ago, you're like, it's Nolan Smith, and then Jalen Hunt is floating around in the back, and now it's like it's fun to see how that has flipped. Yeah. That is for sure. There's a whole bunch of different guys that obviously, as the Eagles fan, that I'm excited to watch that I think have the opportunity to really break out here. I think the first spot to probably go is going to be your 2 wide receivers that are at least really standing out in camp, Darius Cooper, and then Dontavian Wicks. I'm so here for it. I'm ready to get hurt. I'm so ready to get hurt because he has been so much fun to watch. But like, someone has to catch the football. Like, someone has to be the wide receiver too. And again, as we talked about, it's going to take a little bit of time for Lemon to ramp up. So someone has to do it. So there's going to be just snaps for whoever it is out of those 2 guys. Jalen Hunt, as you said, Andrew Makuba. He was a lot of fun when he was healthy last year. And obviously the Eagles have just the utmost confidence in him because they said, like, it's fine. We don't have to go out and sign another safety because we have Andrew Makuba. So I think he's in prime position. Jeremiah Trotter, I think, is just another fun name to like lob in there just because he's been like a player that's really hard to keep off the football field, which is saying something when you have Campbell and Zach Bond. They are speaking so highly of him. But really, for me, I think the main guy is Ojomo. We've seen it before in terms of this third defensive tackle and what it can do to someone's career. Ask Melton William. And I think Ojomo's just primed and ready to step in that spot and then go and make like $15 to $20 million this offseason wherever he ends up going.
Dontavian Wicks, anybody?
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Someone's got to catch passes, right?
All right.
Let's
get into
schedule. Their
Gross.
odds over under 10.5. The division,
this is bad.
They are first, third in the conference behind the Rams and Seahawks, and then they're tied for 5th in the Super Bowl, ironically enough, I think, with the Patriots.
Bad graphic design job. Worst in the division.
Yes.
I don't care.
It's a weekly bit at this point, right? Ben, do you want to start us off? Given you're the Eagles fan, let's do like 2 rows at a time. Why not?
Wait, I'm the Eagles fan. Yeah. I'll start us off here. They're going to lose to the Commanders. Obviously we talked about it with the Commanders and the Commanders winning. They're going to lose to the Commanders. There's going to be a little bit of growing pains in this first game for the offense. But then, sorry, buddy, they're going to beat the Titans. They're going to beat the Bears. And at this point, it's a bit like I have to say they're going to beat the Rams because they have like historically over the last 5 years just like owned the Rams, even by just like sheer strokes of luck in Jordan Davis's right hand. So they're going to beat the Rams as well. They're going to lose the Jags and beat the Panthers. So they're going to start out 4-2.
I'll go next. I'll respond here. They're going to beat the Commanders, beat the Titans. They'll lose to the Bears in a Grady Jarrett masterpiece, stopping Saquon Barkley. It's just funny to say. Sure. But they will lose to the Bears. They will lose to the Rams. I'll go on to say they lose against the Jaguars, and then they beat the Panthers to start off 3-3. Matt?
I have them beating Washington, beating Tennessee, losing to Chicago, beating the Rams, beating the Jaguars, beating the Panthers.
5-1. Listen, I'll take that too. That's funny because I'm the one in 5-1. Ben?
Yes. I have them beating both the Commanders or both the Cowboys and the Commanders. I meant to mark this down as a win. I have them beating the Cowboys, Commanders, Giants, and Steelers, but then losing to the Cowboys. So that actually messes up my whole record and all of the fun in all of this. But I have them starting out 8-3.
Yeah, 8-3. All right. I have them beating the Cowboys, beating the Commanders, beating the Giants. I'll have them beat the Steelers and then lose to the Cowboys, starting 7-4.
I have them beating Dallas, losing to Washington, beating the Giants, going into the bye, beating Pittsburgh, losing to the Cowboys.
What's that bring you to?
8-3.
All right.
Let's go.
Ben?
Yes, I have them beating the Cardinals and Colts, losing the next 3 to the Seahawks, Texans, and Niners, which is also just a really fun rivalry as well, and then beating the Giants. So that actually has them finishing 11-6, which is a little disappointing because I had them finishing 10-7, which was the same as the Cowboys, and then their divisional record was going to be the same. Then they were going to win the division because they had head-to-head against the Rams. So all of that's no longer fun. But 11-6 winning the division.
Matt?
I have them beating the Cardinals, losing to the Colts, beating the Seahawks, losing to Houston, beating the Niners, beating the Giants, finishing 12-5. Spoiler, they're my 1 seed in this conference.
Whoa. All right. I have them beating the Cardinals, losing to the Colts, losing to the Seahawks, losing to the Texans, losing to the Niners. I'll have them beat the Niners, and then I'll have them beat the Giants, going 10-6, just one shy of tying the Cowboys and making it the tiebreaker. But Cowboys win the division. Eagles get second place, and probably would that be the 5 seed then? I don't know. We'll see what the Bears do next week. Okay, ceiling and floor. Ben, what do you got?
No, I think the ceiling's probably somewhere around like 12-ish wins. I do have my reservations with the team, and like I'm ready to get like hurt and scarred, like the pessimistic Eagles fan, right? Because like the offense is a concern. Like shocker, like they're going to step back when they or they're going to lose a step when they trade AJ Brown, and when you completely make a change to the offensive scheme, like so far different from like anything we have ever seen in this Jalen Hurts era. And like it is a pause for concern for me. Um, so I'm bullish, but I think they could win 12 or 13 games. And I think their defense alone just like allows them to have like a pretty high floor at like probably somewhere around the 9 wins.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think the run game is going to improve. I think that's a huge, huge part of it. But the defense will keep them in a lot of tight games. The Rams one is going to be interesting just based off of last season. I feel like there's a lot of like it left a bad taste in the Rams' mouth. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'll say their floor is 8 or 9 wins, and I'll say their ceiling is like 13. Like this team can be very good, and a 1 seed as well. Matt,
Yeah, I think it's much narrow. I think it's 10 to 12. Truly, I think when you have the construction in which the defense is like at worst, this is the fourth best defense in football, and at worst, this is what top 5 offensive line. Like when you have those core values, I think everything else falls into place in a pretty good way. Even if the offense like sputters a little bit and takes like a little bit, it's not going to be worse than last year. It's just not with how many still great players that are on this team. And so again, I think there's a lot of like there's a lot of similarities, and I keep doing this with so many teams conference to conference, but like there's so much Houston in this where it's just like they're just not going to be out of any game, and they get the 2 games that decide the 1 seed for me at home in the Seahawks and the Rams. So I think it's a favorable schedule down the stretch and in some of these big spots. So that's why I'm pretty bullish. Like I think when your core looks like this, I just have a hard time betting against it.
yeah,
It's the like those final like 4 of those 6 games that like scare me, right? And again, it's happened what 2 times in the last 3 years where you start the season off like really really hot, and then for some reason or another you just like suck down the final 6 weeks of the season. And I feel like again ending with a stretch on the Colts, Seahawks, Texans, and Niners like scares me, and it is definitely like flashbacks because I have seen it happen before, and like that does scare me. But again, as you said, just the defense alone should again keep you in games. So
yeah. All right. To recap, I have them at 10-6. Ben has them at 10-6. Yeah, 10-7. Ben has them at 11-6. Matt has them at 12-5. Good stuff.
nice. So Matt, I want to ask too. This is an Eagles and Cowboys question. Me and Ryan see the Eagles and Cowboys like at least similar to one another. Um, do you see the Eagles and Cowboys close at least going into the season, or do you is there like a break in the Eagles and Cowboys?
I think there's a break. I think there's still like a tier difference. I think like if you were to put like a tier system, I think like the Cowboys are in that like tier 3. I think they're priced pretty well in terms of like they're probably at any given day they're probably the 6th to 9th best NFC team, where I think the Eagles are definitively in that top 3 to 4 with me. And so like they're
Gotcha.
pretty easily in that, just because like I think at their core, we've seen them do it, where Dallas it's still so much mystery box, and B, it's just I talked about the core values of like what's a better unit year to year? Do you think it's the Eagles defense or the Cowboys offense? Right? I probably lean to the defense, and so I think they have the better unit. And the other thing with the offense that I feel like is not talked about with the Eagles enough is like every other quarterback gets a bump with this system. Like every quarterback gets a bump, and it feels like it's still like, oh, we got to see it with Hurts first. But the core of this is like, go watch the Packers. Like, they've been spitting out top 15 run games forever with limited talent along the offensive line and running back. This team has Barkley and still an insane offensive line when fully healthy, right? Like, I just keep coming back to it. I'm probably drinking the Kool-Aid on the talent is just too good and things like that. And what you said is where it could come crashing down, but I'm in on this roster.
I've been stewing on a little bit of a quarterback take. Can I say this here?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go for it. Obviously, different players, and I'm not I'm not making a comparison between these two players, one for one. But in terms of like how they're viewed in the NFL eye and the perception of fans, I really think Jalen Hurts is just going to be on like that same Dak Prescott arc, right? Where it was like, okay, this guy's great, and then it's like, I don't know. People kind of hate him, and there's like this back and forth, and then I think it's just gonna like level out over the course of the career, kind of the same way it did with Dak, where we're all just like, yeah, he's a good solid quarterback that can be one of the better ones any given day, and like that. This is just like the take that I've been doing because this is like exactly thus to this point. Obviously, you get here in different ways, but like. This is how it has been for Dak Prescott, aside from the Super Bowl that Jalen Hurts has won, where it's just like back and forth. And now we've hit a spot where
most
Dak
of
Prescott,
the take ethos comes from, though. Comes from that
What?
Super Bowl, though. That's the take ethos comes from the Super Bowl, right? Like either you are, because he won the Super Bowl, either he's top 5 because he won the Super Bowl, or he's not top 10 because he got carried, right? Like, Dak has never been under that spotlight. And again, it's because he hasn't won as much as Philadelphia. But
yeah, and again, and that's what I'm
reality.
saying. Like, we get there in different ways, but like, just in terms of the way that they're viewed by the NFL public, in terms of, again, just being like, I don't know, and then it just evens out as the course of like Dak's career has like played out, where we're just like, yeah, he's a respected NFL quarterback.
I mean, I don't know. My rebuttal to that is like Sam Darnold is not he's not on that level in my opinion. Is he? No way.
No,
I mean, he just won.
I'm
the
not
Super
talking
Bowl.
about Sam Darnold. I don't know how Sam Darnold.
No, I know.
Brought up position.
I'm bringing him up as an example to the whole. Yeah, like, well, he won a Super Bowl, so he has to be good, right? No, that's not true.
That's not why I'm saying Jalen Hurts is good.
But it's a point nonetheless in the argument. Like, well, he won a Super Bowl and X quarterback didn't. Like, sure, but so did Sam Darnold, and I think that there's 12 quarterbacks at least that I could name that I would rather have than Sam Darnold. Yeah. Like, I mean, it's a moot point to me. I really hate that point because I really don't feel like you need to be a top 10 quarterback to win the Super Bowl. Like, it's come to that. It's come to that. I don't know. That the whole Super Bowl point is so overdone to me.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Nothing of this has to again do with the Super Bowl. Again, this is just purely how fans look at him over the course of their career. That is all. I
know. That's why I disagree with it. I'm not saying that what you're saying is wrong. I'm just saying what other people will say. Oh, well, like Jalen Hurts, for example, is a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and X quarterback isn't. Like, should we discount Drake May and the amazing season that he just had because he lost in the Super Bowl, or should we, and credit? I'm just saying. Please don't take this as an insult towards you. It's more so like the stupidity of the fans that are like, listen, like this guy won a Super Bowl, so he's got to be in my top 10. Like, that's so stupid to me. That's so dumb because like the top 1% of quarterbacks win the Super Bowl. Like. And like
so Jalen Hurts is the top 1%.
I'm just saying it's so rare. Yeah. It's so rare to be able to do that, and it's the overall team that does it. Like if you're a top quarterback, you do it multiple times, and you're the reason why the team wins. And like there are times in which, I mean, I don't know. My thing is like, do you ever look at Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen and be like, that's the guy, that's the reason why they lost this game? Like, it's not quite as often.
Josh Allen in the playoffs, absolutely. He's the reason that they lost that game to the Broncos.
I disagree,
Two turnovers,
but that's another
and
conversation
he had
for
two
another day.
turnovers and lost and had the fumble that led to the game-winning field goal. Absolutely, Josh Allen was the reason they lost the game to the Broncos.
I have a conspiracy about it, but again, it's a conversation for another day. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, NFC East standings. Our standings. What I've got. So Ben and Matt have the Eagles in first place, the Cowboys in second, likely a wild card. Commanders and then Giants in third and fourth. I have Cowboys taking number 1, Eagles 2, likely a wild card, and then Commanders and Giants at 3 and 4. To just highlight that. Fun stuff. Weddle.
Let me pull it up.
I'm pleasantly surprised with how nice you were to the Eagles, Ryan.
You're welcome.
This is perfect because it's gonna give me great runway when I'm like, yeah, Packers, Lions, and Vikings all better than Bears next week.
Kyler Murray, dude. Yeah, we're high on Kyler Murray.
We are.
Give me Luther Burden to start us off.
He's 6 foot.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was 6 foot. I thought he was like 5'10", 5'11".
Really?
He's smaller. Ben, where do we want to go?
Where do we want to go? I mean, under 6
AFC
foot.
running back?
So I mean, obviously it's a running back, a younger one at that. I mean, my mind immediately goes HN. It definitely can't be because he's way shorter than that.
Low number.
The number is kind of throwing me off. I mean, could no, Gibbs isn't that short. Is Gibbs that? No, because it's in the AFC.
Yep. I think I have, but I don't know.
Go for it, rip it.
Brees?
Nope.
Too short. No.
I'm guessing Brees.
Yeah, rip Brees. The number doesn't work, I don't think, right? But yeah.
Okay.
Is it Henderson?
Is
he that old?
Exactly where my mind went.
He wears 32, right?
Oh, he does.
What would that be? Is there a team I'm just missing? Like the Bills, like Ray Davis isn't wearing a single-digit number.
James Cook is
James
not
Cook isn't
23.
23. Yeah.
Maybe
How old is
24.
Achan?
Yeah, I mean it's
No, the Achan is
5 or
like
6.
5'8". I'm so confident that Achan is.
I mean, do you want to throw it in there
5'8".
just for the heck of it? Like,
it's Miami. Like it is literally. It has to be Miami. Did they sign someone who's young? Did they draft anybody?
Ollie Gordon?
He's too
He's
big.
huge.
Oh.
Is Jalen Wright wearing like number 6? Yeah, I guess he
Mm.
is.
There you go.
Number 5. Like that's a weird poll. There's not gonna be many people that get that one.
Yeah.
Hard mode. You already know.
Right. No one talk to each other.
Who are we picking?
Gervon Dexter, bro.
Oh.
It's gonna be Anger, bro. Brett Anger. Just you watch.
Nope.
Dang.
It's gonna be a punter. All right.
Where's my list?
NFC defense, shorter, a little bit older.
A short linebacker. Like a really short linebacker.
thinking.
Okay.
Can't be Ivan Pace.
No, it can't be Ivan Pace because of the number. Is Rodriguez still on the Lions? Let's rip that.
He's 5'11". That's crazy.
He's short. He's short.
So it's
Uh,
west or south.
Oh, yeah, North was already taken.
listen,
Yeah.
I don't know my linebackers all that well. I know it's not him, but I'll use my guess to help you guys out just in case it is that division, and just go with Fred Warner just to see if it's the West. There you go.
West. Thinking of Cardinals backers. Thinking of Rams backers.
My mind like goes to someone, but like I don't think it's him because I don't think he's that short.
You don't think about linebackers being 5'11".
No, I mean I'll say it. I mean like the person that
Damn it.
shit.
Pick.
I know.
I know who it is.
I feel like this should be easier than like
I
what
know
it
it
is,
is.
especially after like watching like Hard Knocks or something. I know Matt has it. Like Matt. Yeah, I was gonna say Matt has it. And I
He's
know
one of my
that for
favorite
sure.
players. He's one of my favorite players.
One of your favorite. It's not.
Oh wait, it can't be.
Ernest that
42.
short?
It can't be 42. Never mind. That was Drake Thomas.
Ernest isn't that short. I don't know, dude.
We have no hint on the numbers.
I know.
I'm waving the white flag. I already know who it is.
I did. Like, it's so funny too because when I think of the Seahawks, I'm not thinking of their linebackers. Like, I'm literally thinking about every other like positional group on their defense, other than their linebackers. I don't freaking know, dude. I'm in SD. That's 26 years old. He's relatively young. There's no way it can be Ernest. Yeah, Ernest Jones, I guess. I don't think it's him. I think he's too old.
Yes.
There it is. See, I wouldn't have got that. Nice.
32.
Yeah, as soon as you said I thought it was Drake Thomas, I looked it up and I'm like, it is.
Ooh, Ernest is only 26. That's crazy. I thought he was older. I knew the height. I knew he wasn't.
because
that
he's been
short,
good
and
for
that's
so
why I didn't
long.
guess him.
Third round pick was
Yeah.
instantly good in the league.
Yeah. I mean, I knew the height wasn't there, but like that is literally the only Seahawk linebacker that I could think of was Ernest Jones. So 17-0.
17-0. Side note, I was playing this game with Caitlin the other day, and the best that she could do was 14-3. But I completely unassisted, didn't tell her what to do, who to pick. She did very good.
Caleb Williams,
very good. No, she was like, I want to say like Baker Mayfield was like a common pick, but like if she saw like the Bills, she'd be like, oh, Josh Allen for sure. Like, you know, it was a proud moment. But
Ready?
yeah, I'll start it if you want.
Yeah.
Oh, not 9. No, Justin Jefferson.
Jay Jettas. Off to a great start. Still off to a really good start. Yeah. Shit. Like,
Head
is it just do we? No, I mean, as much as I love him, it can't be coach. I don't want to do Chris Olave this early though. Like, there's so many good wide receivers.
Jawan Johnson.
I guess it does have to be Kellen. I guess Rip Kellen and hope head coach doesn't do anything.
McBride.
Yes. I'm so I get a smirk on my face whenever it's us with the Cardinals and it's not.
All right, fine.
Do
Let's
Do it.
Let's be let's
Do
just
it.
let's be evil. Guess we're not gonna run block. Sorry, McCaffrey.
Patrick Mahomes.
Defense.
AJ Brown.
Yeah, probably.
There's better
Good
receivers.
defense.
Yeah. Fuck. Not gonna say that word. Jason.
You already did. I'm gonna censor it. It's fine. Or not censor it, but mark it as explicit. You're good.
Oh, I've already said it way earlier in the episode, but I'm trying to not.
Matt, did you have a pick?
Ben just gonna took it, but
Yeah.
That's who I was
Who do
gonna
you
pick.
want?
Wait,
So,
whoa,
okay.
hold on. You said
no, I don't think that's the wrong answer.
You got to
I'm
go
so
running back
confused
here,
how this
right?
got out of order. I said Patrick Mahomes.
That's wrong.
Then Ryan
Yep.
said
I said defense.
Oh, I guess I did do it
Yes.
in order. Well,
I mean, it's Chase Brown.
shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Okay.
could be Samaje Perine because we need a pass blocker, but
Chase Brown
Get
isn't
out of
bad.
here, dude.
O-line, please. Eagles coming clutch.
No.
16-1. This is a really good team, though, guys. Like, this is our best bet.
Yep.
16-1. So, O-line sold, probably, right?
Yeah.
Matt,
You
start us
start.
off.
yeah.
DJ Moore.
James
That's
Cook.
what I was thinking.
Bijan.
Yeah. Probably.
Kyle Pitts.
Jonathan Taylor. Unless, hold on, wait. Before you submit that, would you rather have Tyler Warren in this instance,
No.
or do you want to backfield? Okay, Jonathan Taylor. This way.
We're building a rush only team, so we need blocking tight ends. Remember that. Darnell Washington. Darnell Washington. Damn it. All right. Well, I'm not taking any there. Dog shit pass.
Head coach.
Commanders.
I probably rate their line so much better than it is in this, but I don't care.
The guy that made this was probably like, remember when Mahomes like tore his ACL because of this
Yeah.
O-line?
Yeah.
Oh God. Like, do we rip Terry? I really don't want to. Like, the other options are like,
Traylon Burks.
yeah.
John Bates. Blocking tight.
Stephon Diggs.
Dan Quinn.
Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, reunited.
You say Dan Quinn?
Yeah.
Kittle.
Yeah. Yep. He could do both. Come on. Steelers. Darn it. Eddie Mitchell.
Steelers.
Ooh.
Wide receiver.
Which one?
Yeah, Jason. Jake Bobo.
Oh. He's a good blocker. He's a good blocker.
I know. he didn't play in preseason. That's how much they value this guy.
Defense.
See,
Yeah.
we win.
Defense.
We win here.
Oh my goodness, if we get Darnell Washington. Oh my goodness.
Defense.
Guys.
Hmm.
Nate Borkature. I mean, it's, I guess, strange, right? Like,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
wouldn't rate Borkature that high, but
14.
15.
16-1 again. All right.
they believed in the run blocking.
Last run.
Okay. We lost.
Ben.
Devon Achane.
Over. No. Oh,
Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor.
I'm pretty positive that's the third time today. Now here's a guy.
took everything in my power to not pick Cyrus Allen.
T. Higgins.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. He'll do it. He'll do it. Stop it.
Eric All.
Eric All breakout.
Oh God.
Drake?
I have to go Pitts, right?
Drake?
Yeah, Drake London.
Is it Drake? Is it Drake? Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Unless you want Kyle Pitts.
That's not Kyle Pitts. It's never Kyle Pitts. Because we could have Oscar Delp.
Kellen Moore.
It probably is, right? No.
The offensive line.
I'm higher on him. Yep. I'm higher on him than you are.
Do I say defense?
They have Darren
Yeah.
Waller. Is he in it? Damn it.
Yeah, head
I
coach, I
don't
guess.
know. This is the worst team. They have nothing.
Where did Ryan go? Just make the selection for him. Make the selection
Hey,
for him. Do
sorry.
it.
Sorry.
Do
No,
it.
my
Make the selection for him.
my
Make this
8-year-old
for him.
younger cat.
Do
It's built. It's built.
Do it. Darnell
Defense?
Washington. No.
Darnell Washington, fine.
Yeah!
Okay. Please pick the defense.
But Tyler Higbee.
Colby Parkinson did catch like 9 touchdowns last year. Brian Spanford.
Sure.
He's not here.
Michael Drake. No. It wouldn't have mattered.
Dude.
It wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered.
Oh.
Michael Trigg causes a 4 wins. They don't understand that Michael Trigg balances out Darnell Washington like perfectly.
Exactly. That's what they don't understand.
Yikes.
This game is just not realistic. What a great
All
try,
right, guys.
everybody.
Any closing comments?
College football. Yeah. That's dropping on Friday, but live shows are going to be on Tuesdays now. Watch
Yeah.
that. Tuesdays live shows starting next week. 8 to 8:30 Central, 9 to 9:30 Eastern. It's going to be a lot of fun. Week 0 next week. Tune in to see Matt's beautiful face and maybe mine, maybe the icon of a person. We'll see how the Wi-Fi holds up. But yes, it's going to be fun, guys. We are inching closer. Like preseason week 2, we got one more, and then it's going to really be time for football.
Yeah. Look at the website soon. We will be posting power rankings soon for preseason. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I don't know. Happy to be back. Sorry again for the delay. missing last week kind of
It's your
sucks.
fault, Ryan.
Yeah.
It's your
Nature of
fault
the
that the
beast.
weather.
Yeah. The yeah, the disaster that was caused, the state of emergency was my fault. Yeah. Yeah, stay tuned for some more stuff. We're excited. NFC North next week, rounding out the scheduled predictions. I get to wear my brand new Colson Loveland jersey. It's gonna be awesome. We want to thank Regional Radio Sports Network, Uppercuts Grooming, Spotify for Podcasters, and Heartland Sports Network promo. I will be doing a broadcast starting next week. For those of you interested on Heartland Sports Network, you can download the app to watch. But we want to thank those guys for helping us grow as a podcast. And then stay tuned for some extra content as well on the schedule. I will be hinting at that until we get it done for you guys. So thanks again. And until next week, we will see you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your offseason because next week it ends. College football is back this time next week. See you later.